roll out the proposed budget for 2008 and also the proposed 2008 liquid fuels budget. It was reported previously in our last budget meeting before the election that we would have a shortfall, that we were looking at a shortfall in revenue in specific areas. So it wasn't a secret. It's no secret that this county has been in debt for a long time.
Rose, let me give you 4 things that I've talked about. Mr. Srepnak took credit, personal credit, for a drug court. Matter of fact, when the announcement came, only him and Todd were notified, and they kept me out of that. Now, I want to finish. And guess what? He takes sole credit for that when, in fact, I brought that up. A mental health court that I've talked about for eliminating overcrowding. Finally, I think we're going to implement that. That's something that I talked about because I talked with the warden.
Budget can't afford it.
Number 3, Rose, number 3. I've talked about time and time again taking that juvenile detention center on Water Street, turning it into a women's correctional facility, saving some money, moving the women out of the main facility and putting it in there. It's just been blown up. Everything's a possibility, Rose, but if you want to listen, everything's a possibility. Number 4, I've talked about a day reporting center. Taking the 200+ people who are sitting in the jail on a daily basis for either violating probation or waiting to be sentenced for violating probation, and having them go in a structured environment to somewhere where they're going to get counseling and they're going to get the care that they need. $75 to $80 a day versus $35 a day. Those are substantial savings. But no, everybody's dead set on spending and building a new prison over $100,000, so you don't want to take the suggestions that I bring to. I talked to Mr. Diaz yesterday about health care, bringing new management employees into this county and saying to them up front, you're not going to get any health care for 6 months because that's the way the county is. We don't have the money. Or requiring them to pay more up front, raising the co-pays over a period of time. We've talked about those issues with Mr. Diaz. Now, if he hasn't shared that with you, I don't think but I've talked to those before.
It was not.
Well, guess what, Rose? You've heard about the prison before. You don't want to adopt that idea? That's fine.
First of all, Steve,
No, Greg.
you were told by Gene Fiske that the company said that we can't do the day reporting thing. The company said that we've implemented everything we possibly can to save money. Gene Fiske sat in budget hearings and he said that exact thing.
And I talked to the day reporting people myself, and the only thing they're doing in this county is ankle bracelet. That is it. You don't want to implement it. Why? Because you want a new prison. So you can argue all you want. The only thing you seem to want is spend more money to build a new prison, to bring people in from other counties, and then have those people sit in our jail, and when they get out of our jail, they become our problem in this county and commit more crimes in this county, and their families move here, and they get on the welfare system. That's what you seem to want. You want a new prison, and every other alternative is off the table.
Steve, you know what? Why is it that you always get angry and you
I'm not getting angry, Greg.
What are you getting? How come you're raising your voice?
I'm not raising my voice because you say I don't give you any suggestions.
You don't.
There have been many suggestions right there.
All right.
You don't want to adopt them. You don't want to save money. All you want is bigger and better.
We have in this country over 1 million people locked up already, and crime's still going up. Not always the answer. There has to be, and I agree with Mr. Urban, there are other ways to look at it. Maybe we need a minimum security facility, because a lot of those people sitting over there, and I've been in that prison more than once as a visitor, thank God, but there are other alternatives. But we're not going to get it by sitting here and listening to you and Steve go at each other.
I agree.
You know? We're not going to get that.
I agree with that.
We're not going to get it. I don't give a shit whether you two guys don't like each other, that's your problem. But you know what? Let's get your act together. We're talking about the county budget.
Let's talk about the budget hearings and where we started this process. As you know, we went through 2 days of relatively extensive budget hearings. At the end of those, what I'd like to call 2 days of hell, we were looking at a hole between expenses and revenues that exceeded $28 million. There was a creation of 50+ positions being asked for. We have shaped it down. The biggest hits, of course, are in, unfortunately, the criminal justice side of the ledger.